back to another board game tier list. Today we are doing the Star Wars Rebellion Rebel Missions tier list. Caveat, I've only played one game of this, so this is more of initial thoughts. How a tier list works: S is the best, F is the worst. So let's get into it. Alright, so when I played before, I played as the Imperial player, so I didn't see these cards. So a lot of this will be new to me, which I think is interesting. So these are the 4 cards that the Rebel player will start with, as seen by having these symbols right here. When you play these, they come back to your hand. Every other card does not have that symbol. So when you use it, it just gets discarded. We've talked about how these get used in the last video, so I'm not going to go into that. So, okay. Infiltration. Attempt in any system that contains an Imperial unit. If successful, look at the top 2 cards of the objective deck. Place 1 card on the top and the other on the bottom. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to read all 3 of... So I've never seen these before. So I'm going to read all 3 or all 4 of these, and then I'm going to start assigning them once I have a tiny bit more context. Attempt in any populous system. If successful, place a sabotage marker in this system. The marker prevents players from building units from and deploying units in this system. Cool. Resolve in the Rebel base space. At the end of this phase, choose one of the following. If the Rebel base is not revealed, move up to 5 units from one system to the Rebel base space, ignoring adjacency. Or you can establish a new base. If 2 leaders are assigned to the mission, draw 8 cards instead of 4. Cool. So this card is very important. This card is very important. Because that's your way of not losing the game, being able to hide yourself again. Cool. So then we have Build Alliance. Attempt in any populous system. If there are Rebel units in this system, roll 2 additional dice. If successful, gain 1 loyalty in this system. Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about it. So none of these seem horrible to me. There are... Let's see. I think this one is going to be an... This one's going to be A. Because it's just so essential. It can't be B. Like, this is your get out of jail free card, hopefully. I do think that this one is important. Man, I'm struggling. I don't know exactly what to do with these. I haven't seen all the mission cards, so this one would be a little bit tough for me to do, or all of the objective cards. So this one would be a little bit tough, but I think I'm going to say that this is your main way of winning the game. You need these cards, so I think this is very important. We're going to put this one in A as well. I think we'll just put both of these in B. This one might actually be C. We'll see what happens as we keep going. Alright. Incite Rebellion. Attempt in any subjugated system. If successful, gain 3 Rebel troopers in that system, then resolve a combat. I love this! This is so cool. This is so cool. So, strategy note from the tiny bit that I know about this game is certain rounds you will be building, and if this is a round that you are building, this is such a good move to make at the end of a this is such a good move to make at the end of the round, essentially, because there could be somewhere that's subjugated and they're building some stuff, and instead okay, so let me go back a little bit. If it's subjugated, all you're actually doing is stopping them from getting something very small, typically. Typically, that would be a stormtrooper or a TIE fighter. So this is actually decently expensive to stop that. Sorry, guys. I'm so new to this game that I have to think through this in some detail. And maybe this would accomplish one of your mission cards, but I I think that I thought this was really good, and I actually don't know if this is nearly as good as I thought it was. Because with the Imperial player, once you win a conflict or something like that, you get subjugation there, but with the Rebel player, they don't even get loyalty. At the beginning, I was thinking that you would get loyalty for doing this. Ooh, and you don't, so I think that's going to be C. Could still be helpful. I don't remember all the board spaces and where that'd be more helpful and less helpful, but I do think it's an interesting card. All right, Hidden Fleet. Interesting. So this is one of the project ones. Believe it or not. Oh, I guess this one's project one as well. Okay, cool. Resolve in any system that does not contain an Imperial unit. Move units from the Rebel base space to this system as if they were adjacent. Leaders in the Rebel base space do not prevent this movement. I'm going to put this in C for now. That doesn't seem super good. Alright, Hit and Run. Attempt in any system. If successful, destroy up to 2 health worth of units of your choice in the system. Oh, this is just... I think this one is F. I think the Imperial players have the same thing. But the reason that I think that this is so horrible is your job is not to beat up your opponent. And if you are trying to beat them up, actually fighting against them is normally how you would accomplish your objectives. At least that's my belief. Maybe this card is better than I think it is. But man, this feels really inefficient. Alright. Plant false lead. Resolve in any system that contains an Imperial unit. Randomly take 4 of the Imperial player's probe cards. Place these cards on the top and or bottom of the deck in any order without showing them to the Imperial player. That's so funny. That's so funny. So theoretically, if the Imperial player remembers what's happening, this card isn't very helpful. It just slows them down some turns. I think I'm just going to leave it in B for now, because it does slow down your opponent, which is kind of what you're trying to do. Support of Mon Calamari. Attempt in the Mon Calamari system. If successful, gain either 2 loyalty in this system or place 1 Mon Calamari cruiser on space 3 of the build queue. So it might be helpful to get this out. Let's see if you can see this. Yep, I think you can. Alright, so Mon Calamari Space Cruiser, or Mon Calamari Cruiser, whatever you want to call it, is a very good ship. Yep. I think I'll put this one in B, I guess. I know it's such a jerk thing to do. I think I'm gonna... You know what? Alright, so I guess I'm just going through the logic here. I'm going to assume that you have ion cannons, which make it so that your opponent rolls less dice. And then you're going to eventually want things so that while they aren't doing things efficiently, you are doing things efficiently. So I'm going to say that this is still somewhat relevant. That's going to be B. Hidden Fleet, we already did that one. Incite Rebellion, I think we did this one as well. Demolition, attempt in any Imperial system. If successful, for each of this system's resource icon or icons, destroy 1 unit on the build queue that matches the icon. Oh, that's so good! Wow, I actually like that a lot. It doesn't destroy things that are actually out, but man, I like this. This is really cool. I think I'm going to put this in A. Okay, lead the strike team. Attempt in any system. If successful, move up to 4 ground units from the Rebel base to this system, ignoring transport restrictions and adjacency. If there are Imperial ground units in the system, resolve a conflict. Oh, man. Oh, I just don't think this is really good. I mean, like, I guess this lets you accomplish your missions. But I think I'm going to put this one in B as well. I mean, like, the reason I'm putting it in B, not lower, is because it does do something and you do it quickly and efficiently and you break some rules in the process. And it's not that expensive to do. Yeah, that's my thought. All right. Wookiee Uprising, attempt in the Kashyyyk system. If successful, gain 1 loyalty in this system and destroy up to 4 health worth of units of your choice in this system. Okay, so this is really good. You could literally kill a or not a Star Destroyer. No, you could kill a Star Destroyer with this. You could kill an AT-AT with this. There's so much you could do with this. This is our first actually good card. Hallelujah. There's one in here. Daring Rescue. Attempt in any system that contains a captured leader. If successful, rescue that leader. Okay, so this is important. You need to be able to rescue leaders. The thing that's difficult about this, though, is that my memory is that if a leader is captured and then you try to rescue it, it opposes you in addition to everything else that is there. I hope that makes sense. So when you, let's just say, Mon Mothma's captured by Darth Vader. So both of them are already there. You play this to try to rescue that leader. Let's just say they're both there. Then I could send another one from my leader pool to try to stop you. And now I have 3 people going against your 1 person. Or in a more normal situation, it'd be 2 people going against 1 person, which is pretty tough. But I do think that this is so pivotal to the game. So I think this one's going to be A. The only reason it's not S is because it doesn't really help you. It doesn't really help you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. It just gives you a chance to accomplish it. Rogue Squadron Raid. Okay, attempt in any Imperial system. If successful, destroy up to 4 health worth of units of your choice on the build queue. Which I think that this is something that you could use to destroy the under construction Death Star. So that's obviously big. And I assume that there's things you can do with this. We're going to put this one in A as well, because that actually, I assume that there's a mission that gives you credit for destroying that very thing. Oh, wait, sorry. The under construction Death Star would never actually be in the build queue, though. So what are you going for here? I think, without understanding everything, I'm initially going to put this in B. Seek Yoda. Resolve in the Dagobah system. Attach the Master Yoda ring to this leader once per game. When this leader is in the same region as a mission or combat, you may reroll 1 of your dice. If Luke Skywalker resolves this mission, you may also replace his leader with Luke Skywalker Jedi. Alright, so obviously that's good. We care about that. Yeah, that one's going to be S. That one's going to be S. That's very good. Daring Rescue. Nice. For the greater good, attempt in any system that contains a captured leader. If successful, rescue that leader and draw 1 objective card. The leaders assigned to this mission remain in this system. The leaders assigned to this mission remain in this system. I don't know why that bottom of the text is there. Maybe I'm missing something. Assigned to this mission. I guess. Oh, okay. I think when you rescue somebody, they go to the rebel base. I think that that's how that works. So this just clarifies that that's how that works. And I had forgotten that. Okay. So this one is going to be S. See, so this right here, this one is helpful, but it doesn't give you any bonuses. This one is helpful, and it gives you some big bonuses. And you can also have 2 automatic successes, so it's solid. Okay. Plan the assault. Attempt in any system that contains an Imperial ship. If successful, move ships, but not ground units, from the rebel base space to this system as if they were adjacent. Leaders in the rebel base space do not prevent this movement, then resolve a combat in the system. Cool. Yeah, I guess this one is probably good as well. So the advantage to this one over this one would be that if you do this, you're actually destroying things that are actually out. This one, you're only destroying things that are theoretically coming out in the future. Also, I'm sure you can accomplish missions with this. So that's what we got. Contingency plan. Assign this leader to a starting mission from your hand, even one that was already attempted or resolved this round. Wow, that's cool. If Lando Calrissian was assigned to this mission, he gains 2 additional successes when he attempts a mission later this round. Okay, that's pretty cool. And as we mentioned, rapid mobilization and infiltration are both good. So like this card essentially just replaces itself, but it gives you, yeah, this card's solid. Yeah, it's like having a draw 1 card in a deck building game. It's always good to draw more cards. But this one actually, it's like play another card that you've already played. What would that be? Throne Room in Dominion. Or I guess the order changes. Doesn't matter. Anyways, I think I'm actually going to put this in S. Infiltration is a great one to get. That gets you to your level 3 cards way faster. Also your level 2, obviously. Rapid mobilization is a get out of jail free card. I probably wouldn't want to do it on Sabotage or Build Alliance, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Base defenses attempted in any rebel system. If successful, gain 1 ion cannon and 1 shield generator in the rebel base space. Okay, so that's awesome. This is so good. We love this. Okay, so, because essentially if we look right here, that is 2 of our highest level things. They're very helpful. Yeah, that card's awesome. We love it. So easy. Yeah, love it. Okay, Public Uprising. Attempt in any subjugated system. If successful, gain 1 circle and 1 triangle units, ship and or ground units in the system. Then resolve a conflict. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that is cool. And as you can see, that would be, if you went with these ones, it would be the Rebel Trooper and the Airspeeder, or you could do these, some of this stuff or whatever. The Corvette isn't bad. So that's interesting. I find this one to be interesting. And theoretically, if you win, your opponent is not subjugating it anymore, which is solid. I'm trying to think of where we've put other ones in this realm. I think I'm just going to put this one in B, though. Alright. Misdirection. Attempt in any system that contains an Imperial unit. If successful, choose one of your leaders, Imperial leaders, in the leader pool cannot be sent to oppose that leader's missions this round. Okay. Of your leaders, Imperial leaders. Oh, cool. Yep, so I think this came up last game, and this one confused me. But so interesting. This was just one that makes it very easy to accomplish anything. This as attempt. And okay, so let me rate this, and then I'll go back and say something. So I would say that this one is a solid B, because you have to use something to do this before you can make Seek Yoda unpreventable or whatever. Okay. Anything that says resolve is obviously better. Anything that says attempt is obviously worse. If it says to attempt in an Imperial system, or a system with Imperial units, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff, those are just so much worse. And the reason that those are so much worse is because Darth Vader just wants to capture a bunch of people throughout the game, and that lets you be captured. I know we can only have one captured at a time, but you can freeze people in Carbonite. There's a bunch of different things you can do. You can turn them to the dark side. So anything that lets you do attempt in a rebel system, that's just so much better. Also, I believe that you can... I don't know. Part of me, I don't know if you can attempt in any rebel system. Does that mean that you can attempt in the hidden rebel base, meaning not like Geonosis, but the actual corner in the top of the box or whatever? Because if you can, then your opponent can't go against you there. And I think that you can do it in the rebel base. I'll have to look that up for next time we play. But all right. Establish trade relations. Attempt in any system that does not contain a sabotage marker. If successful, gain 1 loyalty in the system and place units on the build queue using the system's resource icon and number. All right. I think that the Imperial player has cards that are similar. And this one might seem confusing or whatever, but I guess my differentiation between the two alliances is that the rebels, they don't have many troops, so whenever they get more troops, it actually helps them. And they also don't control much, so whenever they get more control, that helps them again. Whereas the Empire has a ton of... They should have a ton of units, they should have a ton of territory, and it's just a matter of using that stuff to beat up your opponent, essentially. So this one right here gives you loyalty, which is helpful, gives you troops, which is helpful, and you now control that place, so if it's a build round, you're about to build more of those things. So like the best example of that would be you build a Mon Calamari cruiser and a rebel transport or something in here. And then you gain loyalty there, and then at the end of the round, you'll get to do the same exact thing over again. So this one I think actually ends up mattering a lot. I don't think that it's like out of this world good, so I think we're just going to leave it in A, but... Alright, hit and run, I think we already had that. Stolen plans, attempt in any system that contains an Imperial unit. If successful, look at the top 4 cards of the objective deck. Place those cards on top of the deck in any order. Okay, so this is probably just wrong, but I hate this. My opponent played this last game, and I just consider this card so bad. I would so much rather play Infiltration. At least you get a card in Infiltration, and you go through the level 1 cards faster or whatever. The only time I consider this helpful is if you are like high into the level 3 stuff. But if you are close to the level 3 stuff, don't you just want to be resolving the missions that you already have instead of doing this? So I'm going to give this an F. This just, it feels horrible to me. Maybe I'm just wrong, but if this somehow let you put 2 cards on the bottom, put half on the bottom and half on top in any order or whatever, this would just be objectively S tier. So much better than this one, but we're going with that for now. Okay. Covert operation. Attempt in any system that contains an Imperial unit or units. If successful, draw 2 objective cards. Choose 1 to keep and place the other on the bottom of the deck. I'm sorry. So how is this better than Infiltration? Let's read that. Attempt any system that contains an Imperial unit. If successful, look at the top 2 cards of the objective deck. Place 1 card at the top and the other on the bottom. Okay, so actually, I was wrong. So Infiltration actually doesn't draw you any cards. But it accomplishes something from you because it gets the 1 all the way to the bottom. But this is literally what I was hoping that this would be, except a little bit weaker. Yep. So I'm gonna put that one in S. It's actually maybe not quite as good as I'm giving it credit for, but I think it's important. And then Hidden Fleet, I think we've already had this. All right, so let's go and just see which ones we have duplicates of. So that one's F. That one is C. That one is A. That one is C. Man, we have so many hidden fleets. All right, now let's see as well. So the cards you have duplicates of are pretty bad, is the general rule. But I guess that's the tier list. And I'm honestly surprised with how bad these are. Yeah, these are not great. Like, I think that if you look at this, it looks like, oh man, like most of the stuff is higher or whatever. But man, I think I was generous here. Like the only ones of these that are actually very good, yeah, like this card isn't like this card is. I guess I just feel like you just don't accomplish as much with these as you accomplish with the Imperial S cards, or even like the Imperial Projects. They have the card that just blows up a system. You have nothing anywhere close to that. I gotta remember what this Wookiee Uprising one is. Okay, yeah, so this card is actually really good. This is probably your only like big destructive card. Seek Yoda is really good, but only if you have exactly Luke, which you would have had to already get Luke. This, yeah, I guess we'll give, yeah, yeah. All right, Rebels suck. That's what I've learned. Thanks for watching, everybody.